Power belongs not to the honest, but to those, like Amy and Gone Girl, who master deception, control appearances, and wield cruelty with precision as Machiavelli advised. And when we look deeper into the dynamics of Gillian Flynn's story, it becomes clear that what is being dramatized is not simply the breakdown of a marriage, but the struggle for dominance in a world where the one who shapes perception shapes reality. A principle Machiavelli set down centuries ago when he insisted that rulers must learn not how to be good, but how to appear good when it serves their ends. Because people judge more by what they see and hear than by what is true, and Amy embodies this philosophy more effectively than almost any fictional character of her time, turning her life, her marriage, and even the media circus around her disappearance into weapons for securing control over Nick and over the narrative of who she is, which echoes the way Machiavelli urged princes to use every tool available: virtue, vice, cruelty, mercy, not as ends in themselves, but as instruments for survival and authority. And so when Amy crafts the cool girl persona, when she pens the diary that makes her seem innocent and wronged, when she paints Nick as the careless, unfaithful husband who deserves suspicion, she is practicing the art of governance within the private realm, proving that even in intimate relationships, power is never neutral but always contested. And she wins because she understands Machiavelli's lesson that the masses, the media, the police, the public, care less about truth than about a convincing performance. And in this way, her cruelty is justified by its effectiveness, since Machiavelli would argue that a prince who fails to secure control is doomed no matter how moral he may appear, while one who succeeds, even through manipulation and ruthlessness, can hold power securely. And Amy's staged disappearance demonstrates the decisive cruelty Machiavelli recommends, because she inflicts terror, suspicion, and humiliation upon Nick, not for pleasure but for calculated impact, striking once and powerfully enough to redefine her position, and later when she murders Desi Collings. She again embodies Machiavelli's belief that cruelty must be swift and purposeful, for Desi is not merely eliminated as an obstacle, but transformed into another prop in her narrative, a symbol of her supposed captivity and escape, which earns her public sympathy and further cements her dominance. While Nick, on the other hand, fails as a Machiavellian actor because he does not understand the mechanics of perception, constantly reacting to the image Amy creates rather than seizing the initiative to craft his own. And his failure mirrors what Machiavelli warns against: the ruler who hesitates, who seeks to be loved without being feared, who clings to a false morality instead of adapting to necessity. For Nick wants to be liked, to be seen as decent, yet decency without power is meaningless. And in the world of Gone Girl, it becomes his prison, leaving him trapped by Amy's superior strategy, forced into submission by her manipulation of pregnancy, by the public's unwavering acceptance of her story, and by his own inability to overturn the image she has so carefully constructed. And so their marriage becomes a miniature battlefield of Machiavellian politics, where the throne is the home and the crown is control of narrative. And Amy reigns because she has absorbed the essential truth that Machiavelli sought to teach, that appearances govern reality, that cruelty when applied with precision is more reliable than kindness, and that survival belongs not to those who cling to virtue but to those who wield power with cunning and without hesitation. Which is why Gone Girl resonates as more than just a thriller, because beneath its plot lies a chilling meditation on how individuals, much like rulers, can manipulate, dominate, and command obedience not through love, not through honesty, but through the ruthless artistry of performance, deception, and control.